Just Our Imagination is a collaboration that requires you to make something out of items that are chosen by the host and the guest host. Well, what did I do with the shower mesh, a peat pot, and a bamboo board? Hi, my name is Cindy, aka Z9designs. So sit back and see what smashing ideas that I have made for you today. DIY number 1, Fly Swatter Art. The supplies include 2 fly swatters, spackling, hot glue, acrylic paint in 2 to 3 different colors, an 8x10 canvas, 1 large round earring, super glue, and gold spray paint. All I want to do with a fly swatter is to smash flies that are bugging me. I thought and decided to come up with some artwork. When I perused the swatter aisle at Dollar Tree, I found 2 different models of swatters. Some were somewhat square and the other one was flower shaped. So I decided on the flower shape and I proceeded to cut the swatter part off of the wire handles. I had kind of a little tough time, so I ended up cutting the swatter part off, but I had kind of like a little V in there. I had to do that with both of them. Now what do? Well, I decided to connect them together, first by glue, and secondly by spackling. I took the spackling and covered all of the open spaces and around the perimeter of the 2 swatters. Next, I painted the canvas, but was going to paint it a lighter color, more of a beige. Then I painted the 2 flowers more of a khaki and neutral vibe, so they would, kind of stand out. Then I used my hot glue gun and adhered them to the canvas. But I still needed to do one more thing. Now I had 2 round metal earrings. There were pieces that someone had. And I took them out and I sprayed them gold. And then I put one in the middle of one swatter and one in the middle of the other swatter, but it didn't look good. So I settled on 1 earring and I super glued it down to the swatter. Now, what a transformation. But don't touch it. It's for flies. So let me know what you think of this smashing art piece. I think I'm onto something. Now, Just Our Imagination is hosted by Kathy Jo DIY and Rustic and Lace DIY. The guest hosts are Carolyn at Craft Classy and me, Cindy, at Z9designs. I won last month and Carolyn won, so we got a chance to pick an item. You'll see which one I picked. The collaboration gives ideas about what to do with unique items. These awesome women will show you some amazing ways to use crazy items. The link to their channels is listed in the description box below. So make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, and even save it. There are other crafters who have made some amazing things, so check out their channels as well. And the link to the playlist is in the description box below. Okay, on to DIY number 2, a shower mesh headband. The supplies needed include hot glue, headband, diamond ribbon, 2 pearls, pink ribbon, and a shower mesh. Now, thanks a lot for choosing a knitted shower mesh. I had to think for a while and came up with a headband. You know how I use them for my intros, so I'm taking the rope off and attempting to flatten to make a bow. I cut a piece of mesh and twist the ends and secured them with hot glue. Then I folded them in the middle and put some hot glue on there. Now, it's good to remember to use that finger protection because the glue is hot. And then once it started to look like a bow or resembled a bow, I wrapped a pink ribbon around the mesh. Then I had to add a bit of glam. So I wrapped some faux diamond ribbon around the pink ribbon, and I hot glued it toward the back of the bow. And once that was done, I decided I would make another bow. And I hot glued that to the black wire headband. For the part that did not have a pink bow, I just took some of the faux diamond ribbon and I put that around the edge. And then lastly, I added a pearl to make it stand out. Now, what do you think? I think it looks so fabulous. DIY number 3, peat pot candle or flower holder. The supplies needed include 2 peat pots, 2 battery-operated candles, or you can use flowers or succulent, lace, fancy ribbon, a couple of types, hot glue, and a silver sequin ribbon. Peat pots are so versatile that they can be made to look beautiful, rustic, shabby chic, modern, any way you want them to look. I have made a couple of versions, but this one is going to be on the shabby chic side. I painted the 2 peat pots white, but I think it was more like a dry brushing in some areas because I did not want the pot to be fully covered with white acrylic paint. I wanted some of that peat pot to show through. Once that was dry, I looked in my stash and I had some ribbon that had ruffles and pearls, and I hot glued that around the top. Then for that particular peat pot, I wanted something in the center to make it look a little fabulous. So I took some other ribbon, I wrapped it around the middle, and then I took that ribbon and made a bow. And I added some pearls to it. And I think that one looks fabulous. You know, they both don't have to look the same. You can make them 2 different kinds as long as you kind of follow the same pattern. So the next pot has ruffled lace around the top. And it looks so good. I could see this at a wedding or some kind of party or even in a kid's room. And because I didn't have enough ribbon to make a bow, because you know it was in my stash and you only have so much stuff in your stash. So I also had in my stash a silver sequin flower, and I hot glued that in the middle of the pot. I had purchased some Dollar Tree battery operated candles, and I put that in the inside. Then I topped it with a faux flower. But I turned on the lights first, and it is simply what? Simply beautiful. DIY number 4, a bamboo storage station. The supplies needed include 2 bamboo boards, 6 plastic drawers from Dollar Tree, super glue, black acrylic paint, and some round wooden knobs from Hobby Lobby. Now, this DIY is so 2026. I purchased 6 plastic stackable organizing drawers from Dollar Tree. Now, I've used them before for organization, but this one, I needed to free up some of the space in my drawer that I had for candy and tea to put them on top so that people could see them so that they could easily access them. I was confident that the super glue could do the job and dry clear. Now, you can use Gorilla Glue or you can use E6000, but I did not have that on hand. I had the super glue, and so I used that, and it is holding on just fine. So I glued the first 3, and you need to glue it where it's going to be attached to the second and third one. So I did 1 set of 3 and then another set of 3 for a total of 6 altogether. I think this was the best way and is beginning to look like a mini dresser, which is okay. Now they needed a foundation. So I took a bamboo cutting board and I painted it with apple barrel in the color black, and I let it dry. However, any color will do, but I decided on a different top because of where I was going to put it. Now my countertop is black, so I didn't want the whole entire container to be black. So I left the top just natural. I used hot glue and wood glue to put the wood knobs on all 4 corners of the black cutting board. I painted the underside of the cutting board as well as the knobs. Then I adhered the 3 dressers on one side of the black cutting board and 3 drawers on the other side of the cutting board. I just made sure that it was aligned and it was dry before I used it. Now make sure you add glue to the areas that will actually touch the bottom of the board. I took the other bamboo cutting board and I put it on top of the 6 drawers. However, I am leaving that one natural and not painting it black. Now, originally, I did paint it black, but I thought it was too much. It looked too heavy. So I had another cutting board on hand and I left that one in the raw state. Of course, I needed to put something heavy on top, so I used paint cans. And in the morning when I removed the paint cans, I checked everything and it was holding together just fine. I opened the drawers and I added candy, tea, hot chocolate, and some vitamin C. Of course, you can use this in your bathroom for cotton swabs, Q-tips, and other items, Band-Aids, or whatever you want to use every day. You can make it for whatever you would like to use it for. Whichever way you decide to use it, it is functional. I am sure you can come up with other ways to use this caddy or organizational station. So let me know how you would use it and make sure you tag me. Now, if you have liked what you've seen, be sure to subscribe, like, save, and comment. Imagining various crafts is an art, and sometimes it turns out great, and sometimes it is, oh well. Also, follow me on Instagram, TikTok, threads, and Facebook. And thanks for watching each and every week. I appreciate all of your comments and love you all. And remember, if you want to have peace bad enough, you need to make it a priority. See you later. Bye. Love, Cindy.